There. I'm really glad you can be joining me right now. And before we get started, I want to give a little bit of a background about myself and how I came into the position to be able to offer these skills to you guys. So, first off, I want to say is I did not come into this business with a trial and error, understanding does this work, does that work. I actually came into this business after learning from some of the top most influential people in their internet marketing business, okay? So, we're talking about Ty Lopez, Josh Arup. These people represent millionaires and billionaires. These people have billionaires come to them and say, "Hey, how can we take our business onto the internet?" Okay, so that's who I learned from. That is my background and where I came from. And after learning all this, that's whenever I decided to create, realize the market, and be able to go into local markets and help local business owners such as yourself to be able to excel to true potential whenever it comes to internet marketing. So with that being said, I really hope you guys enjoy the presentation and we'll see you on the other side. All right, guys, let's jump right into this, and I'm gonna make this as quick and easy as possible, and make this as simple in understanding what actually we'll be doing to the market and how we'll be getting you to the front page of Google. Okay, so first, I come in here into SEMrush, and I search up keywords that are high traffic. Okay, so that's the first step that we go after, right? And if you can see here, I entered lawyers in Amarillo, Texas. All right, and lawyer in Amarillo, Texas is a keyword that's actually being inserted into Google. Okay, so if we can take a look down here, the volume here actually shows 590 people. So what this volume means is 590 people search lawyers in Amarillo, Texas each given month. Okay, so this is a very, very strong keyword, and it's something that I would recommend for a lawyer in Amarillo to be going after. And that's not the only thing that we can do here. We can actually go in and see related keywords here. Okay, let's let this load a little bit. All right, so after we come into related keywords, we can search volume. Okay, and within volume, these are related keywords. Okay, so family lawyers, Amarillo. Um, these are obviously lawyers, top lawyers in Amarillo who search their name, which, once we develop a good report with you on the internet, we could actually get your name up here and being able to have people know who you are and be able to get you such search results as these guys. Okay, so, you can see right here, Amarillo attorneys, 90 people, search that each month, accidents in Amarillo, Texas, divorce lawyers. So whatever it is that you're going after, we can find that niche and actually pinpoint that market, be able to skyrocket your clients and skyrocket your leads that you're actually getting. Okay, so next we can actually go into phrase matches, which is partial match keywords that kind of relate to lawyers in Amarillo. So if we come down here, we can see lawyer title, Amarillo, that's 210, divorce lawyers, right? So, obviously Amarillo, or lawyers in Amarillo, Texas is going to be our #1 keyword here, okay? But it keeps going on, and yeah, we can gather all of these here and be able to pinpoint you in the right direction depending on what you're going after. See right here, lawyers in Amarillo, Texas, right? That's 50 people. Lawyers in Amarillo, TX, that's 590 people. So that's a total of 640 people just on 2 keywords. And then you add in, Amarillo lawyers right here, that's another 70 people. So we're looking at 710 people just in 3 keywords. And that right there is giant, right? As a lawyer, having 710 people being able to see your site and what you can offer them could obviously bring in more clients, so you can help, right? Help get out of trouble, or help, whatever your niche is, right? We can help you, right? So, whether it's divorce lawyers, personal injuries, doesn't matter. We can get you up there, and we can get you up there extremely fast, okay? So next I want to be able to take this, so lawyers in Amarillo, Texas, and we're going to go into Google, and we're actually going to we're actually going to take the top competitor here and break down their the reason why they're up here, all right? And then we're going to go a little bit deeper, to about, page 8, page 10, and grab a page there and see why they're on page 8 or page 10, okay? So first I want to point out is the ads right here. So ads are always going to be at the top, right? So these people they don't go into the statistics. And the reason why I say that is because these people appear of that 500 and 90 people that search lawyers in Amarillo TX each month, only 10% of them are clicking these. Okay, the other 90% are going into here is what we call snack pack, and this is once we rank you up to the top, you will also be in here as well. Okay, so there's a couple people who did a bad job on not being able to get into this, but we will be able to put you into this. Okay, this goes and ties with our training or with our skills that we're going to be presenting and performing for you guys. Okay, so we're just going to grab this. We're going to grab this one here, and I'm gonna do a small little breakdown. So if you can see here how it says Amarillo lawyers. Okay, so for one thing, Amarillo lawyers, you want your keyword here, lawyers in Amarillo, Texas, to be as close to the left or as far over to the left as possible. Okay, so if they had right here lawyers in Amarillo TX, right, and then it says find your law firm right after that. So if it said lawyers in Amarillo TX dash find your law firm, right, that would optimize them a little bit better. Granted, they don't need to do that because they're already number one, but if we go down here to number two, if number two did it, right, if they did Amarillo lawyers in, or lawyers in Amarillo TX slash Texas criminal defense attorneys, they would have a better chance on beating these guys. Okay, there's a little bit more that goes in play to that, but that's what it goes to for the index for Google. Okay, this is what you call an index in Google. And if you go in, this is called a meta description right here. Now, if you notice, they don't have lawyers in Amarillo TX at all. They just have lawyers, Amarillo TX. So in their meta description, if they had, use the largest online, directory to find your lawyer in Amarillo TX, they would have a higher chance to get higher. They're number one, so these are just small little changes that they can make, so number two can't come up and beat them, right? But with this being said, this is a good thing for us because they're not optimized just on the index, and this is a fraction of what you need to do to get at the top, right? You need to make sure that your index is optimized and their index is not optimized. Okay, so next thing, we're actually going to go into the website here. Okay, and if you see here, it says find a lawyer in Amarillo TX. All right, so this is optimized right here. This in the header, you need your keyword in your page title. Okay, so that's huge. All right, so I mean, if we go back here and we go down to number two, right? Their web page doesn't have that, right? If they would have put right here a Texas law firm, where they put a Texas law firm committed to getting results, if they put an Amarillo law firm or a lawyer in Amarillo, Texas, committed to getting results, or something in that nature, then they would have a higher chance to being number one. Okay, so you want to make sure that your keyword is embedded, but also not embedded so many times. So you can't just say lawyers in Amarillo, Texas, 100 times on your page. You will get over optimized for that. So there are other ways that you can do this. For instance, you could put a Texas law firm in Amarillo, right? That will help them in not over optimizing their keywords. So that's something else you have to put into play right there. All right, so those are just the small little key things that you need to do in the website. All right, so next, if you go into here, the next thing is this picture. So Google can't determine if this is a branding picture. It only sees that it's a picture. So what Google thinks is this picture right here is an advertisement. So if you have a picture at the front of your page, right, and you have to scroll down to see words, that that marks you for, you know, not being optimized. So if Google has to scroll to see content, you know, and they're seeing a picture first, and they have to scroll down to see content down here, which these guys obviously did a good job on making sure content is in the first screenshot overall for Google. That's the reason why, you know, they're probably ranking number 2. So if they wanted to put a video here, they would get a better chance on being number 1. So, you know, that's a good key tip right there. So these are small little things. So next right here, so you know how it says home, firm, overview, attorneys, practice areas, all these tabs in their page. If they created these tabs to be related keywords, right? So let's say, you know, lawyers in Amarillo, Texas was their homepage, right? And then they put, you know, divorce lawyer in Amarillo, Texas. Obviously, they're criminal attorneys, but, you know, we're just going to take this with a grain of salt. If they put, you know, divorce lawyers in Amarillo, Texas, and then they put, you know, criminal defense lawyers in Amarillo, Texas, and, you know, they put matching related keywords in their pages, they would have a higher chance of optimization. That's another key thing that needs to be done. Okay, so you know there's obviously a whole lot more that need to be done. I'm trying to keep this simple and sweet to let you know that what we're doing and is actually crucial. And if these people would be doing what we're talking about, then they could actually be number 1 too. Okay, so I want you guys just to get a little bit of a glimpse on how we do this. Okay, so I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to grab the the domain address here, and I'm going to go into a system that we call Majestic. Okay, so if you see here, I already have it entered. All right, so it's the top website that we have here, lawyers.com or lawyers.findlaw.com. Okay, so we enter that in here, and this is database all collected from Google. These companies match up with Google, and they actually diagnose the data that Google gives to them. So here we have trust flow. Okay, so the trust flow and citation flow are on a rank from 1 to 100, right? And it's actually on a rank from 0 to 100, but you know, if you can see, these guys did a really, really good job. The closer to the 100, the better. And what trust flow, how we rank trust flow is, you know, trust flow is the worthiness in sites and how many people are going to that site. And what I mean by that is not their site. Okay, what I mean by is is sites that are talking about them, and that's what we get here is external backlinks. Okay, so they have 82,000 websites talking about this site right here, which is big. Okay, it's huge, and that's what we would be doing for you guys. We would have so many sites that would be talking about you to be able to get your trust flow up. And not only will we have sites talking about you, we'll have sites that will be having traffic going to them. That is where trust flow comes in. Okay, the amount, or I'm sorry, the traffic that is going to these sites. Okay, and citation flow is how many links go to this site. Okay, so that's the 82,000 sites are linking lawyer.findlaw.com. That's what gives them the citation flow. Okay, so the trust flow is how many people are going to those links that are linking that site, and the citation flow is how many links are going to the site. Okay, so that's key right there. All right, and if you see here, their title here isn't optimized for lawyers in Amarillo, Texas, right, or TX, right? And then next you go down, and another thing that helps on being built is having consistency. This is the backlinks. Okay, this is their 82,000 backlinks. The consistency on how it comes. Okay, so if you can see here, they're actually dropping really low. So that's a really good sign for us because, you know, Google wants to see velocity in backlinks. They want to see, you know, backlinks coming in every month, every day, you know, for your site, to be able to know that you're still active and knowing that you're still, you know, providing answers for people who are going into Google. Okay, so you know, next we go down and we can actually see, you know, what sites are linking them, and this right here is another key thing in Google. It's anchor text, right? So these people, they didn't do a good job on the anchor text here for it, but the reason why they're ranking is because they have such high, you know, trust flow and such high citation flow. And also there's another reason why they're ranking, and we'll get into that here in just a little bit. So you know, for smaller people who aren't as, you know, high authoritative, or who doesn't have a high authoritative website, we want to take huge impact on this, and anchor texts are what, these 82,000 people are linking to the website, right? So let's say right here, lawyers, comma, attorneys, comma, law firm, that anchor text is clickable in their site, and these sites that click and bring you to this site. So once I click that, word, it's going to take me directly to that site. Okay, so that's what these do. That's what anchor texts are. Anchor texts are clickable links to your page, or in their case, to their page. Okay, so every single one of these would be clickable inside that backlink from that other website. Okay, so that has a huge key factor whenever it comes to ranking on Google. And this is a little bit more complicated and it's hard to understand, but I just want to mention that so you guys know this is something we will be doing for you guys. Okay, so this is what we call off-page optimization. And as we went through, earlier, whenever I actually clicked into the websites, that's called on-page optimization. Okay, so next what we can do is we can actually go down here into the search engine for, lawyers in Amarillo TX, right? And we come down and, let's just find a random site here, trying to find a relevant one. I did have one pulled up. Let's see. Okay, so we're just going to do this. Amarillo Law Firm. Okay, so we're going to grab them. All right, and I'm going to pull it up here, and I'm going to place it into this. So it's the same search engines as Majestic, right? But if you look here, their trust flow is 26. Their citation flow is 23. Well, why is that? Well, it's because they're external backlinks. They don't have tremendous backlinks as we do here, okay? So that's the reason why they're not as high as these guys, which, having trust flow and citation flow is huge to Google, all right? So that's a major key factor that Google looks at. If you look here, they're at half of the rate, right? So that's something else that, is taken into consideration, is getting this trust flow and citation flow up, and it's mandatory, right? To the point where if it's not done, then you're not going to be ranking on Google. And if you see here, they had a spike in all of their traffic and all of their backlinks, right? But then they just trickled out. So that's another reason why they're ranking really low. It's because they have no velocity in backlinks, okay? So Google wants to see that. And here again, they don't have the keyword in their anchor text. That's major. You need your keyword in your anchor texts that are in other websites that are talking about you. So let's say, this website right here, texasbar.com, made a link about your company, right? Your company's website. And the anchor text is lawyers in Amarillo, Texas, and it makes it clickable to go to your page, or instance their page. That means it's going to give you a higher authority over that keyword because you have anchor text leading to it, leading to that keyword. That's how Google knows how to rank you, is by what keywords other people are using in their backlinks to, talk about your website. So that's another thing, that's another key thing that's taken into factor. Okay, so and I mean there's so much to this, but these are the main things. Okay, so next, we have right here, we have lawyers, fine.com. This is the same company on Google here. So this is the #1 company on Google here. If we go back to page 1, this is the company that we just searched just a second ago. Okay, this is another website called moz.com. They do link up with Google as well, and we have the chance to actually plug in the URL and actually see something crazy here. So what we see here is domain authority right here and page authority. Okay, so these are things that we look at, and these are the things that we want to boost up, and it is also on a scale of 0 to 100. And next is your spam score. You don't ever want over a 2. So spam score, is spam sites linking your website, is your backlinks, right? That brings your spam score up. You don't want more than a 2. Okay, so these guys did a really good job keeping their spam score really low, their domain authority really high, and their page authority really high. Okay, so what is the difference between domain authority and page authority? So domain authority is incoming links that have high authority. Okay, so what that says is the more backlinks you have, if they have a high authority, of 60, let's say we have 1,000 company or 1,000 websites talking about your website and they're all over, domain authority of 60, right? That means that it's going to pass on to you and it's going to make your domain authority go up because you have these high authoritative sites talking about your site, okay? So next over you have page authority. Now page authority is the amount of links going to your site or going to your site to each page. So, for instance, this is a page on their website, right? So lawyers.findlaw.com is their domain authority, right? And the page authority is the overall, the backslash lawyers slash state practice slash, that's the page authority, okay? And the way you the way you get page authority up is actually having um, backlinks going to your page authority, okay? And having more websites talk about this page, and that also comes in ties with bringing your domain up as well. So let's say you have 10 pages or 5 pages on your website, right? And each have a page authority of 30. It's going to make your domain authority go up because all your other, your backslash pages in your website are, have a high authority as well. So obviously it's going to boost your domain authority up, right? So that's what that is. This is what those things mean. And if you have a domain authority of 0, and a page authority of 10, you're going to be at the last page of Google, okay? And we're going to actually take a look into that right now. All right. So what I did here was I grabbed a site in lawyers in Amarillo, Texas, Google search, and I want to say I grabbed it from page 7. Um, you know, it might be page 6, page 7. Either way, it's one of these back pages where I grabbed it from, okay? So, I mean, these are things you can actually go in and look yourself, right? So, I think it was page 8. But anyways, this is obviously irrelevant where it came from. Either way, it comes from, the very back of Google, okay? So this is something that I want to show to you guys, and the reason why these guys are here ranking number 1 and why these guys are on, page, 9 or 10, wherever I grab this page from. So if we go down, we take a look, their domain authority is 8, their page authority is 18. So that right there shows why they're not on page 1, okay? So that's another reason why they're not on page 1. They don't have a high domain authority, they don't have a high page authority, okay? So we can even take this and we can come into here, into Moz, and drop it into Moz, and I guarantee you this trust flow and this citation flow is going to be low, okay? So let's let this load. All right, so look, we have a trust flow right here of 0 and a citation flow of 20, and they have 10 backlinks. So that is why they're not on the first page of Google, right? And this lady, she's actually in, she's actually in Amarillo. This is a lawyer in Amarillo. So, for her not to be, on the first page of Google, those are the reasons, right? And this is something huge whenever it comes to that. And if you look, I mean, she has pictures here. Like I said earlier, you need videos, right? You can have a video here, and then then you can have your pictures underneath. But you in her title page, it doesn't have anything to do with any good ranking keywords that she has, right? So, or that she would need to rank for. In her instance, she's obviously a custody attorney. So, Amarillo lawyer, or Amarillo custody attorney, that's something that you would want to put up here to start ranking for, right? To be able to go for that market there. Okay. So this is something that I really want you guys to think about, and I really know, I know that it's extremely hard to understand, and I'm kind of trying to keep it simple. I know I'm jumping around, but I just really want you guys to see where we get our data from, how we break down a market, and why we can go in and see how many people, or see what websites are doing what and why they're doing that, okay? So last thing I want to show you guys is I want to go back to page 1 in Google, okay? So we're going to go back here. I jumped too far, right? And I'm actually, oh, I could have just grabbed it from here. That's okay. All right, I'm going to go back into our SEMrush tool, okay, and I'm going to actually go into domain overview of analytics, okay? And this is the website on the first page of Google for Amarillo lawyers in Amarillo TX, okay? Look at this. 561 people are going to their site each and every month, okay? Each and every month, right? If we go back here, to April, April Palmer Law, who's also, an Amarillo lawyer, going in, and we enter this, and we can actually see here she's getting 7, okay? So that's extremely low, right? Now, April, if you're watching this, I hope you contact me to help you out here, because, this is something that could change dramatically. I mean, going from, 7 traffic to, 561 traffic, you could only imagine how many how many more clients or even leads you would be getting to be able to take on. And obviously, if it's not in your criteria, you could just pass it off to another lawyer and say, hey, I have these people who need your help, or, hey, there's someone here who's more in your criteria. I hope you can help them out, or try and help them out, and we can work something out together on me passing you these people over, right? That gives you more of an authority in the city to be able, or in your market, to be able to help other people out and also help yourself out, right? So we can come down here and we can actually see their top organic keywords, right? So for this company, they're ranking for lawyers in Amarillo, 590, Amarillo attorneys, right? So they're number 1 everywhere, okay? They have 16 keywords that they're ranking for in Amarillo, right? So let's open up the full review here, and let's just give this a small little look, and this will be the final thing. And I really hope this made a little bit of sense to you guys, and I really want you guys to know this is crucial, okay? This is huge. So look, they're ranking number 1 in almost everything, right? They did a really good job. Whoever's helping them is doing a really, really good job on ranking for this stuff. So what we would do is we would reverse engineer this site for you guys, or yeah, for you guys, and do what they're doing basically, okay? And being able to implement, and obviously, I pointed out a couple key things that they could be doing better. For one, in their header or in their domain here, they don't have the keywords. So let's say they had, lawyers.findlaw.com, right? And it said lawyers /lawyers here /lawyers in Amarillo TX. Okay, so if they had this, that would give them more of an authority, or because they have lawyers here, they could just do this, in Amarillo, Texas, right? Because they have lawyers here, and that's their keyword, right? Google loves to see this. Google loves to see the keyword in the domain, okay? So that's another thing that's huge whenever it comes to ranking in Google. You want to make sure you have those keywords in your domain, and you don't want to be using those keywords, or that specific keyword you're trying to optimize, multiple times. You want to use it at max, 3 times. So that's something that we know and we understand, and I mean, you can just come down here and look at their volume. I mean, I'm telling you, this is the reason why they're getting so much traffic. 561 traffic each month, and they still have 3 more days, or what's today? They still have a couple more days to be able to get more traffic. So by the end of the month, because this is on a monthly basis, by the end of the month, they're going to actually probably be upwards to 600, maybe 650. So let's look here, right? Lawyers in Amarillo, Texas, right? I mean, that's the one we were looking at, Amarillo attorneys. I mean, look at this volume here. These people need help. These are people who are looking in your niche, looking for help, right? So how can we help them? And helping them is by putting you there on the first page of Google to all these eyes who are looking for you and for your help, okay? So I really do hope this made sense to you guys. I really want you guys to understand that this is major and this is crucial, and I can't help everyone in this market. I can only help a certain few. I can't step on my own toes. I can't help 10 lawyers in Amarillo, right? Now if it's a divorce lawyer and a criminal law or a criminal lawyer, I can do that, or a personal injury lawyer, that's fine, you know, but I can only do one of each. So if you're seeing this and you know you're in Amarillo, obviously you are in Amarillo if you're seeing this, because you know I'm getting it directly to you, and I want you guys to act now, because this is going not only to you, but it's going to a lot of lawyers in Amarillo. Okay, so if someone else contacts me and they hire me before you know you guys do, and you guys are in the same niche, I can't help you guys anymore, because you know I stick to it. I can't step on my own marketing toes, and I want to help everyone out, but you know, it's obviously first come, first serve, and I got to be fair, right, to the people who act, right? Because once we get once we get the ball rolling, I'm going to act fast for you guys. I'm going to get traffic as fast as possible, as quick as possible. And this is organic traffic. This is not paid traffic. This is not ad traffic. This is organic traffic, okay? This is that 90%. 90% of people who search in Google go to organic traffic, not ads, okay? The other 10% are for ads. We don't want that 10%. We want 90% of the pie, not 10%. Okay, so once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this made a little bit of sense. My name is Alexander Cuellar. I am the founder and creator of Realize the Market, and I hope to hear from you guys soon, all right? You'll have a wonderful day. Can't wait to hear from you guys. Bye-bye.